discussion. This was much needed. I had a heart-to-heart conversation with a friend, who lost a loved one to anxiety and panic attacks, and I've decided that it was about time to put something out and share my knowledge and my journey through this, because I've suffered from panic attacks for a very long time in my life, and I can finally say that I got to the other side. So this is my way to give back to the world and to the community, to the circle, as I like to call it, the soulful circle, in hopes that this will find the right people that need to hear it, that are going through this, that are struggling with this, or that have a loved one who is struggling with this. And I really want you to know you are not alone. This happens to a lot of people. It's something quite common in today's world. Sometimes it's triggered by it's always triggered by battles emotions, but I mean the emotions can come from dissatisfaction at work, or problems at school, or from relationships with friends, with families, with loved ones, with partners. It comes from unresolved traumas and wounds, from not knowing who you are, exactly how much of what you are, of not knowing your way, of not realizing your path, of you being on a journey to find your own purpose in life, your own mission, your own vision. Maybe you haven't, I don't know, you haven't had a chance to find the right people, your own circle that will build you up and help you grow, and that's okay for now. Just know that this is a safe place, and if you enjoy ASMR and if these kind of discussions interest you, I have decided to put it out there in this format because I myself have been somebody who listened to ASMR for forever, for so many years. And I remember there was a time when my anxiety was like crippling. It was so bad, so bad, to the point that if I had like a pause at work, like I had a break or like a breather, I will just pop my headphones and I will just listen to one ASMR, and I will like try my best to pull myself out of it. I've been diagnosed with functional depression, and it took me a while. Mine actually started because I was overworking. I was such a go-getter. I was such an achiever. My case is quite strange because I have never been pushed by my parents or people around me to do anything. It's just I'm the oldest of all my siblings, so it just came with the territory. I assume, I guess. I'm not very sure. So if this is you, if you have been struggling with panic attacks or anxiety, I need you to this life on the other side, free from like crippling panic attacks. I'm not saying they might never come back. This is not what I'm saying. I'm not saying you might not find yourself struggling with them or being surprised by them. You will. You might. Hopefully you won't. Hopefully you won't. But in today's episode, I've decided to share my own experience, and I will give you a couple of tools that I've been given and that actually help me in the long term. So if this is something you enjoy and you find helpful, please do subscribe and maybe give it a like. So do click on whatever button you like. And if you have any ideas or suggestions about things that are connected to the soul and the mind and like in a holistic way, I will be more than happy to talk about them if they are within my reach or within my expertise. So back to the anxiety. For me, it all started when I was still a student. I used to work a part-time job, and I was, of course, going to work, going to school, doing homework, chores. I've left my city to move to the capital, so it was quite a big change for me. And I assume I was putting way too much on my plate. I think that was the thing, because I misunderstood the idea of being a good child, of giving back to the community and to my parents, and I was so thankful for all their help, and I was so proud of getting in this very good university, and I thought that I have to show who I was and prove myself, and like, yeah, literally I was putting way too much pressure on myself without anybody actually putting pressure on myself. So if you are like me, hi, hello, nice to meet you all. I'm not saying, I know that some of you might come from families where people do expect a lot from you. For me, it was just not the case. I guess if you do have a family like, or siblings, or like people around you who put a lot of pressure onto you, that is even more burdening. I figure, because at the time, some of my friends were actually stressed about going to work, going to school. And I remember I had this very good friend of mine who was telling me, like, calling me and telling me every like Sunday, saying, oh my god, tomorrow is Monday, I have to go to work, I have to go to school. She had like a job as well, and she was telling me I cannot breathe properly, I can feel how my anxiety is crippling in. So if this is you, please know that you are seen, and this happens more than you know. This really happens more than you know. So yes, the idea is that I had this huge panic attack that started actually with crippling anxiety and continued with crippling anxiety, and I don't know what was happening. So literally I was feeling numb and cold, like half of my body was feeling cold and half of my body was feeling extremely hot, like my head was burning, and my chest was burning, but my hands were cold and my feet were cold, and I was sweating profusely, and my heart started pounding, and I was like shivering, and I was like, oh great, yet another one. Here comes again, like an avalanche of thoughts that were like filling my mind, and I was thinking, what is wrong with me? What is happening? Why can't I ever surpass this? What triggered this? So it was quite annoying and quite scary, to say the least, and I couldn't breathe properly, and I was like grabbing the first piece of furniture that I could find, and I was squeezing it until my fingers turned yellow, and my mind was racing and racing and racing, and I remember I could hear this conversation going in my head, like, am I really breathing? Is there any air coming, like entering my lungs? I was like, yeah, it must be. I'm sure it is. I can still think so. What do I do? Do I tell somebody? Do I look for help? Do I wait? So hopefully it will pass by itself. Like I was feeling like the earth was moving beneath my feet, and I was like closing my eyes shut, like in such despair that I was literally seeing like little spots, and I was like holding on to dear life. So it was, honestly, it was a bad one. It was a bad one. To be completely honest, it wasn't just emotional. Like, yes, the day that my biggest panic attack and anxiety burst happened, I had a full day at work, a full day at school. It was at the end of the day. I was extremely tired. I remember I drank, I think, a coffee or maybe two. Hopefully I'm remembering correctly, and to my, to my despair, to put it bluntly. I realized that I couldn't, like, literally I couldn't control my body. I couldn't control my thoughts. So my cortisol was all over the place. I was feeling overwhelmed. So I just wanted to tell you that if you feel this debilitating anxiety and like the fear you will lose control of all your body, like you'll faint or you'll lose consciousness, and that triggers more anxiety, and this continuous loop and this continuous discussion in your head, what is wrong with me? Why is this happening to me? Am I alone in this? Will I ever get better? Is this for real? I really want you to know that, my dears, you are not alone. There is nothing wrong with you, in the sense of you are perfectly okay. You are normal. You are a sweet, great human being that has an excruciating painful experience. There is nothing wrong with you. You have not done anything wrong. This is not a kind of punishment. So I really want you to rest assured that what I'm telling you actually goes. It's the chemistry of your brain. Actually, to be honest, your brain is trying to find the danger that you think you are in. So your mind it's stronger and more rooted into the energy of the collective than you actually think. So your body is merely mirroring the thoughts and the emotions that suppress your whole being. The idea is that every single time you have a panic attack or you have anxiety is your mind's way to show you that something in your body is not right, it's not balanced, meaning you have too many racing thoughts, you have emotions that are not of the highest vibration, you have horrendous inner discussions, you have these crippling thoughts, you are maybe not well rested, maybe you haven't eaten enough, maybe there are so many possibilities and so many combinations, to be honest. And that's why I'm telling you, there is nothing wrong with you. This is not to say that you shouldn't take the advice of a professional. Of course, go for it. If you feel that you need medication for it to actually push through, to actually balance yourself enough, please do so. All I'm saying is try and take a step back and have a wholesome idea on all of this. Try and see the whole picture and realize, how am I eating? How am I drinking? What am I watching? What am I listening to? Who are my friends? What do I do? Do I like what I do for a living? What are my expectations? Do I have hobbies? Do I do anything for my soul? Do I do anything for my body? Am I pleased with my life? Because most often than not, an anxiety attack, a panic attack, comes when your emotions are all over the place, when your thoughts are all over the place, when nothing feels safe, when nothing feels secure, when you feel out of control. So that sensation of the earth is like literally moving beneath my feet, like I'm in a vortex, I cannot control my body, is your body's way of signaling danger, and your body's way to shut down in order to protect your own life. I know it sounds counterintuitive, but it's like it is true. It is actually true. So if you see people fainting from anxiety or having to take a breather or having to, it's your body's way to actually disrupt whatever you're doing, whatever you're thinking, because the electricity inside your body, like your thoughts are electrical, are too much for your brain to actually process. So that's why I'm saying there is nothing wrong with you, in the sense of you are perfect exactly the way you are. You are just on your path to finding the sweet spot for you, what works for you, who you are, what you like, how you like those things. So I'm here today to ask you to please do not judge yourself too harshly. And please, if somebody that you know goes through this, I'm not trying to ask you to understand, because unless you have had a panic attack or anxiety, you might not know how it actually feels and how debilitating it is and how hard it is to control it and to go through it, especially if you are expected to do something else in that moment. So if your anxiety hits when you are during an exam, or when you are with your partner, or there are different moments when it can actually hit, and most of the times you don't even know what triggers it. It can be a word, it can be a sentence, it can be a smell, it can be a sound. Like, no jokes when I'm telling you, your brain literally chooses something as a trigger and associates that trigger to an actual emotion and to an actual thought. And the thought is, I'm not safe, this is not okay, I must run or I must freeze, because that is the fight or flight response, or like the freeze response. So they are all rooted in psychology. All I'm telling you is, if somebody if they don't, just give them a second. Give them a second, because their body knows exactly how to self-soothe. And if there's something that you take from this discussion, let it be this: ask the people that you have a discussion with that are pouring their heart out, do you want me to listen, or do you want me to help you fix this? Because it's such a huge difference. There are people who actually need like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps of like fixing something, or a quick fix, or they need you to make them understand how to get from A to Z. And there are people who just need to take it all out. They just need a listener. They know what they have to do, or maybe they don't. So the idea is just read the room and just ask. Just ask the person, how may I be of service? How may I help you? So if you go through a moment like this, I advise you to connect your body. It's always the easiest way. So if you place one hand over your belly, like over your navel, and another one over your heart, and you slowly breathe. You take a slow breath, as slow and as deep as you can possibly take it. You'll notice that your body and chest are moving, and this will be enough to realize that air is actually entering your lungs. This will be enough to actually cut the trains of your thoughts and realize, hey, I'm alive, I'm safe for now, I'm okay, I've got myself. Because sometimes maybe there's nobody around you, and the only person who can get yourself is like you. You have to tell yourself, I've got this, I've got myself, I'm taking care of myself. Sometimes you should be enough. So this is how your first fear will be put to rest, because you are in fact breathing. So the next step is that we need to stop those racing thoughts, so that they stop mirroring themselves into your body through that pain, through that despair, through that panic. So I would advise you to continue breathing as slowly as you can for a count of 4. Like breathe in for 1, 2, 3, 4, and then breathe out for 1, 2, 3, 4. I advise you to try and exhale with a sound like sound. That will actually help your nervous system, because when you breathe in slowly and you breathe out slowly, you breathe in through your nose, you actually signal your brain that you are in fact safe. Because in moments of danger, there is no time for the body to execute like a full breath, like a belly breath, like in through your nose slowly and then out through your mouth. So if you have this sequence of breathing in through your nose and breathing out through your mouth, especially if you have like a sound, like an exhalation sound, that will signal your body and your brain that you are a self. Because if you weren't, you couldn't actually have a belly breath, you know, like you'll be, maybe there's a predator, like a tiger or a bear or I don't know, a wolf next to you. Let's imagine this. So then your reptilian brain is actually thinking, hey, I'm in danger, there's no time for me to breathe deeply. So you'll just have this shallow breath. So if you look at animals, like if you look at National Geographic or like Discovery Channel or whatnot, you'll see that every single time an animal is chased, they will like, their heart will pump maybe hold for 4 seconds and then exhale for 4 seconds and then wait 4 seconds. This is actually called the square breathing. So let's just do something right now. Let's try it together. Let's try it together for a second. I'll give you a moment to get ready. So I would like you to maybe close your eyes and breathe in through your nose as slowly as you can. Let's try. 1, 2, 3, 4, and out. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now let's trace an imaginary square. Let's breathe in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold for 1, 2, 3, 4. And breathe out for 4, 3, 4. And now just wait without taking any kind of breath for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's try one more time. Now that you've got the gist of this, breathe in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. Out through your mouth. 1, 2, 3, 4. Stop your breath. 1, 2, 3, 4. If you actually do this every single time, you feel that anxiety building up in your body, you will disrupt the thoughts and your nervous system will calm down enough in order to not have this strong reaction to whatever thoughts or external factors that you go through or whatever it's happening that is taking you out of your balance. I just need you to know that your body has an innate intelligence and will always choose the best course of action in order to keep you safe. So every time your mind is flooded with overwhelming thoughts of shame, of pain, of despair, of fear, of terror, of unworthiness, panic and so on, it actually signals to your brain that you are going through something dangerous, like a stressful situation. So in turn, your brain may decide to diminish its activity by putting you into this freeze mode. And actually the blood that circulates through your brain, it's actually pushed towards the other organs. So that's why you might have like a headache or like this nauseating sensation, because literally the blood is sent to other parts of your body to be able to run, literally to run or to defend yourself. The fight or flight that I was talking about. So actually what you thought was your brain and your body turning against you, it's your body's work and your body's way to keep you safe and protected. So next time when these sensations will visit you, I would really ask you to focus your mind and your body on two things. Focus your mind on a mantra and your body on a rapid, vigorous movement. For who is not sure what a mantra is like a set of words, like a sentence say this out loud. If the place you are in allows you to do this, because I know how it feels to actually show what you're going through out in the open. So maybe it's a better idea to do it in your own mind, but continue to repeat it. It's different from person to person. There are people who can repeat this 5 times and already feel better. For other people it needs like 10, 15, 20, 30 repetitions. I'll tell you something. For in Chinese culture, like for Chinese people, 36, like 36, 36, 36, 36, 36, 36, 36, 36, 36. It's a great number to repeat something, just so you are aware. So every time you notice an intrusive thought that comes in, try not to engage with it. And when I say don't engage with it, I say don't let it drag you onto similar past memories. Because the moment you have a thought and then that thought takes you away with it and you remember past things that happened, this will generate more emotions, more thoughts, more emotions, more thoughts, more engagement. So it's like a never-ending circle. So if this happened to you, you can try and firmly repeat that you cancel that thought 3 times. This is like psychological tip and trick that I've came across, and they were saying that if you say I cancel, whatever you're thinking about, again you just disrupt the thoughts and you have more of a chance to get out of that sensation. So this repetition with conviction and that determination will actually break the cycle of your thoughts. So I'm actually well aware that we are always advised to ignore any intrusive thoughts, to just let it pass. Like imagining a sky and the thought is like a cloud that is going like from one side to the other of this sky that is your mind, and you just look at it and you don't engage with it. But actually sometimes, especially if you are in the beginning with finding your way through this, it can be quite difficult not to engage with the thoughts, because the thoughts don't come like bare. They do come charged with emotions. So from experience I tell you that a cancellation, to say I cancel this, let's say in your mind you hear you're not good enough, you will never be able to do this, or why did you say this, you always say this, you are good for nothing, why would you do this, can't you be better? If you say I cancel this 3 times, it breaks the pattern, and then you can continue with conviction, with an actual mantra saying I'm good enough, I do right by me, I do as good as I can with whatever I've got, I'm safe, I'm okay for now, I'm doing the best that I can, I am my best version right now, and to trust me, 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 to trust me. Everybody is their best version in every second of their life, because if you knew better, you would do better. Please hear me when I tell you, if you knew better, you would do better. Nobody wants to halfly feel or halfly do something or halfly have. No, of course not. You want the full experience. So if you knew better, you would do better. This is the level of the consciousness that we are in at this moment in time. When we will know better, we will do better. That's why when you are, for example, in a relationship, people say like, and that relationship finishes, people are like, oh, but you were so and so in this relationship and now you are with somebody else and you act differently and you're like a better person and you treat the second person better than the first, and what changed? I'm telling you what changed. You changed because you learned from what we call mistakes. I do strongly believe that whatever we call a mistake, it's actually an opportunity to learn more, to be better. So nothing changed other than you, your perception and the lens that you look the world through. So your perception about relationships, your perception about love, your perception about yourself, your perception about what you deserve, what others deserve, what can you do, how are you. So when you know better, you do better. And nobody should be blamed for this. And I'm saying this with conviction. I know each and every person who listens to this was hurt at one point. But to trust me, if they knew better, they would have done better. And I'm telling you, as a person who went through a very abusive relationship, I'm sorry, I'm getting emotional, to a very abusive relationship, who had to learn how to love herself, how to put boundaries, how to choose better, how to understand that fixing people, like people are not projects, and you shouldn't take upon yourself to change somebody or fix somebody. And it took me therapy, it took me discussions, self-help books, spirituality, meditation, psychology, time, energy in the form of like financial energy, physical energy, emotional energy, to actually understand if he would have known better, he would have done better. Sometimes the way some people love you are not the way that you need to be loved. And as hurtful as this is, it's just a fact. It's just the truth. As some friend of mine is actually saying, it is what it is, and it is not what it is not. So basically, it is what it is, and we have to make do with whatever is given to us at that moment, and do as good as we know in that second. So back to the idea of not engaging with the thoughts and using cancellation. Please just do whatever works for you, whatever is better, in order to truly break the patterns. And just know, be prepared that those thoughts are going to be very, very, very resilient at first. They are going to ignore your attempt of like taking them aside, and they are going to literally hit the wall of your mind 5 seconds later, and you have to maybe say cancel, 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 I cancel, I cancel, I cancel, I cancel, I cancel, I cancel 1,000 times a day. But know that every single time you interrupt them, that neural pathway, it's not as strong as it used to be. So literally whatever you give energy to grows. It's like whatever wolf you're feeding, so whatever you give energy to grows. So the moment you stop that pattern of thought, it becomes less strong and less strong and less strong, until your mind creates a new pathway, a new connection, a new neurological connection. And that, my dears, is called a new brain. A new brain. Whoever is in tune with Dr. Joe Dispenza, kudos to you. He explains it way better than I could hear. But that's literally brain plasticity. They've done choose to shake your hands, to rub your hands together, because it's like the easiest thing. You can actually, shake your arms if you could, or you shake your legs. You can jump around, and I'm really, I know it sounds hilarious, but it helps. It helps because every movement will help you return back into your body and ground yourself. Like every movement of your body will take that emotion out. So I need you to understand that every panic attack is actually an anxiety, and in turn a panic attack is triggered by heaps of energy that are stored into your body, like that energy that ruminates but is not really released, so it doesn't have a flow, so you're not in balance. So if you tend to, like me, you tend to sit a lot at your desk, either at school or at work or at home, it might be because of this. It might be because your energy channels are not flowing properly. Energy is not flowing properly to your channels, and it's stored somewhere into your body. So from my own experience, ASMR actually helps. Actually relaxes the brain and gets you into an alpha state, and hopefully for the lucky ones into a theta. So a theta state is that state where you can subliminally create neural pathways, you can create new realities, you can start manifesting. You literally just plant the seed and it will grow and grow and grow into the new reality that you deserve. So I am sure that everybody, or most of you, know that we are co-creators to our reality, and our reality is actually bound to shift whenever we intervene upon it. So yeah. So I was saying that most of times, if you combine a body movement, like your hands, your legs, that should suffice, with a mental mantra, that flow of energy will balance itself, and you will not be trapped in that panic attack for long, or for longer than a couple of seconds. Also, there's another, yeah, I'm such a bookworm, but there's another thing I wanted to tell you. Maybe somebody will be interested in this. I have studied about emotions for my work, and I've come across a couple of studies, and they were saying that emotions actually link in the body for 90 seconds, 90 seconds, 90 seconds, 90, 90, 0, just 90 seconds, guys. Can you believe 90 seconds? Which is amazing, but there's a but always. But if you could just let go of the emotion, it will just be released from your mind and body in 90 seconds. But the moment you link that emotion to a past trigger, a past thing that happened, a past, I don't know, situation, that's the moment when you give power to that emotion, and that emotion needs 90 more seconds, and then the more stressed you become, and if you become angry because of this, or you like invest yourself or invest emotionally, it becomes harder and harder and harder to actually soothe yourself, because that 90 seconds transform into another 90, another 90, another 90, and like half an hour later, like, what happened? It was supposed to be 90 seconds. Yes, it is 90 seconds, as long as we So we let them go, and then yeah, it's 90 seconds. Yes, guys. So again, I hope this was helpful. I hope this channel will attract people who need to be here in this soulful circle. This is why I've given it this name. I have chosen ASMR as a way to bring this forward because it's something that really helped me when I was struggling with my mental health, and it's been such a crutch at the beginning, and then it was actually of great help to me when I was trying to define who I am, who I want to be, what I was striving to become. So I'm still turning to ASMR every single time I need some peace of mind. It relaxes me deeply. So I've done my homework. So I found out that ASMR starts to help people to get to an alpha state and even in a theta state. And for who is not aware of this, or like it's not passionate as I am about these things, the alpha state is the first state of relaxation, and then the theta state is the state where in the theta you meditate deeply, you get subliminal, ideas, so you can actually change the way you think, the way you feel. You just raise your vibration. So for me, it was just right to decide and share my thoughts and my knowledge through this platform in this way, hoping that this will be of great help to relax people and also educate them and also tell them that they are not alone. So, my dears, know that you are not alone in this. You are not supposed to be stuck in like a loop of panic attacks and anxiety. You are not less because you go through these struggles. You are worthy. You do not spark fear with your behavior in anybody. Your behavior, your thoughts and emotions are actually valid, and they only try to signal you something so that you actually pay attention to whatever is out of balance. I need you to remember that your body and your mind are never working against you, even if it actually seems like they do. And just know that everything that you experience is only a transition state, and you will get to calmer waters, to a more peaceful state once you learn how to, to recognize the triggers, once you work on solving what keeps you stuck, what keeps you small, what keeps you afraid. And I want you to hear me out right now, because this is really important. Important. Your existence is worthy, and it's important for the universe. I need you to know that the universe never makes mistakes, like never ever, and never wastes energy on anything. And you, like on an etheric level, you are pure energy. So you being here today is proof enough that you are special, that you have all that you need in order to push through and are strong enough to surpass your anxiety and your panic attacks. And know that there are people that you can turn to, either therapists or spiritual coaches or religion, like even a prayer. Guys, if you are not comfortable with mantras, just pray. In those moments, just choose a short prayer and repeat it again and again and again and again and again until you actually feel that divine energy, that divine force protecting you. As they say, whatever rocks your boat, whatever works for you, as long as it's for your highest good, as long as it doesn't hurt anybody, choose whatever works for you and stick to it. And if that stops working, try the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. Like, never stop searching, looking for whatever is that can get you through, get you to the other side, because trust me, there is always something. We live in a world where there is always somebody that is creative and they come up with a new meditation, with a new breath work, with a new yoga style, with a new yoga, I don't know, position or exercise, with a new type of sports, with a new music, with a new instrument, you know what I mean. So just do your homework, do your research, find whatever works for you, and know that this will always wait for you to revisit it every time you feel the need to ground yourself and to find your motivation. I hope this helped you. I really, 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 really hope that this was of help. And I will be really happy to hear from you, to hear your thoughts and read your comments on this subject, on how were you actually navigating this and what have you done to improve it, because I hope that somebody that is meant to see that is meant to read that, will benefit greatly from that. So I do hope that we can create a strong community here, like a self-help so a community where everybody will join and help one another and will support one another in a kind, peaceful way, because my intention with this channel is to, as I said, to give back to the community and be of help, and hopefully bring some soothing thoughts and another way of looking to things that so many people struggle with. So as somebody who got to the other side of anxiety and panic attacks, I tell you that nothing is forever, and you will get there once you realize what works for you, once you realize what do you need to balance, what do you need to look into, once you get to know yourself